So in some nations, they got the barter system. This is one of my mom's prophecies, the barter system, right? A lot of us use barter system in the hood. A lot of people steal stuff and be like, hey, I'll slide you this for a sack, or I'll slide you this for that. Even over there, there's a native little booth where they build they make earrings and stuff, and they have it right there. They're willing to trade. So that's a barter system. So some nations, or some sovereign nations, and some communities, because some are just communities that like to live off the land, the LOL. So some people grow fruits and vegetables. Other people, grow different ones, and they end up trading a bushel of apples for a whole bunch of strawberries or raspberries or whatever it may be, or homemade jewelry for like a homemade carpet or something like that. It's just examples. So in a sovereign nation, I still utilize the U.S. currency, right? But with my sovereignty, or sovereignty 2, or a new word that will be created for it under the prophet of the nations, under my new religion, will have a new name. King of Kings is probably the best guess. So it's KOK, or AOKOK, which will be the new Bible by King Fernando, by me myself, by the translations of the modern day living word and the generations that be with technology and such, so we can articulate the new Bible in a way of the generations with technology and such, to apply its living word to this generation that I will be able to put in context. But anyways, besides that, trading has always been a thing. Bartering with coins, which is precious metals back in the day. Now the metals are two different metals. Outside copper, inside like nickel, or inside something. You know what I mean? The quarters are not even silver anymore. So they used to trade with precious metals and jewels. But that being said, since I'm in my status and my position, I don't need a permit to be anywhere. They can't trespass me. I don't need a permit to sell food. I don't need any of that licenses, food handler card. I can just do as is. If I do get permits and licenses of that, it's just because it looks better. You know what I mean? It looks better to formulate in the society that you're in. But it doesn't mean that I'm needed. I could sell snow cones. I could sell things on my trunk. I can go to events and walk around and sell things without a food handler card. I can build a restaurant without a food handler's card, because it's not under the construct of the IRS, the systematic oppression that is the corporate America. Corporate America is unlawful. That's where your IRS and your corporate laws and consumer laws and federal laws and even sometimes international laws come in, but they're not even laws. They're more of penal codes, or codes and violation codes that imprison you under their construct of charging money. So since my position is outside of that, if and you've seen videos online, they're harassing people. You have a permit for that to sell, and permits are unlawful in the way of the nature of true freedom, the sovereign Lord, right? Because back in the day, they didn't be like, you need a permit to walk in and sell your apples on the side of the street. The Greeks back in the day used to lay down blankets, or in the movies at least, lay down blankets and hustle out their trench coats and sell sundials and all types of stuff. We never needed no permit. Even Christ's day, I think they didn't have no permits to sell. You just put up your little booth. Back in Arabian Nights, Aladdin, the movie Aladdin, you know how they had their little booths? They didn't have no permit. They just had trees growing the apples and stuff, and then they put it in a little gazebo, and then they started slanging out, bro. So that's how it's unlawful. So the laws of the land are different for different people in the perceptional way and under discretion. I don't have laws of the land. I have laws of myself. I'm speaking on behalf of the whole nation, because I have to understand laws of the land, other sovereignty nations, tribal nations, etc. and on my journey, so I can be fit and hold them to their standards and their laws and their distribution. But me personally, I have no laws over me. No penal codes, no violation codes, no corporate consumer laws, no permits needed. I don't even really need an ID other than to make things easier in my society, because we go somewhere with no ID, they're like, what the heck, you know what I mean? And and um and they don't want to serve you. So sometimes conforming to make things easier is easier, because or else you have to go through these processes of court orders and things of that nature. So sometimes complying with ownership of your social security card and etc., and invoking your rights to the feds and the international entities that be that govern your United States is the best way to go. I know how to get through the system with God with me. You know what I mean? So that being said, this is just a simple explanation of being able to barter, sell snow cones, anything without permits and things. And to stop me and ask me questions would be illegal. Whether you're a police, whether you're a fed, or anything.